PS44, Fox 31, and WSST My TV for being selected as the Star Business of the Week.
Thank you for watching My 55 WSST.
The Jwwilliams funeral directors have been proudly serving the people of this community since 1918. Service is our motto. The poor, the rich, the middle class, and all are given the best of care and attention at all times. You have the privilege to select what you want. In your time of need, contact the capable, the competent, and the dependable staff of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home who is genuinely concerned with your care. At Jwwilliams Funeral Home, you are aptly served by the proprietor president, Deacon Arthur L. Parker, who continues the traditions and values set forth by the past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams. Your announcers for the Jwwilliams Funeral Home Sunday morning program are Deacon Arthur L. Parker, Reverend Isaac H. Owens, Mrs. Calandra Wilkerson Parker, Minister Frankie Harmon, Miss Sandra Johnson, and Deacon Earl Clark, Jr.
Thank you, and good morning, friends. We come to you this morning to bring announcements, dedications, and songs. We certainly hope that your day may be brighter after listening to our program. The family of Pastor Violet Youngblood Lester of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Mother Jessie Bell Harrison Spivey, age 90, of Byronville, Georgia. The family of Mother Peggy Nell Miller Lee of Valdosta, Georgia. The family of United States Navy veteran, Mr. Stanford D'Angelo Lundy of Perry, Georgia. The family of Mr. Sylvester Perkins of Americus, Georgia. The family of the Reverend James Arthur Robinson of Snellville, Georgia, formerly of Lee County, Georgia. The family of Staff Sergeant Sylvester Akins, Jr., United States Army retired, of Winona, New Jersey. The family of Mr. Ralph Franklin Denard of Cordele, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for the food, the flowers, the condolences, and all other expressions of sympathy and kindness shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. Pastor Violet Youngblood Lester, age 75, of 1197 Railroad Avenue, Rochelle, Georgia, died Tuesday, January 6th, at the Blakely Memorial Hospital in Cochran, Georgia. The funeral service for Pastor Violet Youngblood Lester, age 75, was held on Sunday, January 11th, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. Reverend Joseph Benjamin officiated. The burial followed at the Mount Ayr Church Cemetery in Pulaski County, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted sisters, Mrs. Leela Youngblood Gibson and Mrs. Mamie Lee Youngblood Grace, both of Rochelle, Georgia. Her beloved brothers, Mr. Willie Youngblood Jr., and Mr. Eddie Youngblood and his wife, Mrs. Ruby Youngblood, both of Rochelle, Georgia. A beloved aunt, Miss Esther B. West of Pitts, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, many dear friends, to include her special friends, Mrs. Ann Benjamin, Minister Barbara Benjamin, and Miss Francine Howard. Survived Pastor Violet Youngblood Lester, age 75, of 1197 Rochelle, Georgia. Mother Jessie Bell Harrison Spivey, age 90, of 371 Grove Street, Byronville, Georgia, died Thursday, January 8th, at her residence in Byronville, Georgia. The funeral service for Mother Jessie Bell Harrison Spivey, age 90, was held on Wednesday, January 14th, in the sanctuary of the Mount Olive Baptist Church in Byronville, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Alvin Turner, officiated. The burial followed in the churchyard cemetery. Survivors include her loving and devoted husband, Deacon James T. Spivey, Sr. of Byronville, Georgia. Her loving and devoted children, Mr. Larry Spivey of Unadilla, Georgia, Mr. James T. Spivey, Jr. of Byronville, Georgia, Mr. Jeffrey Spivey and his wife, Mrs. Edna Spivey of Unadilla, Georgia, Mr. Bobby Spivey and his wife, Mrs. Waddell Spivey of Warner Robins, Georgia, and Miss Victoria Spivey of Byronville, Georgia. 10 beloved grandchildren, 15 great-grandchildren, 9 sisters-in-law, 4 brothers-in-law, a host of nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survived. Mother Jessie Bell Harrison Spivey, age 90, of 371 Grove Street, Byronville, Georgia. Mrs. Peggy Nell Miller Lee, age 84, of Valdosta, Georgia, died Thursday, January 8th, at the South Georgia Medical Center in Valdosta, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Peggy Nell Miller Lee, age 84, was held on Friday, January 16th, in the sanctuary of the New Jerusalem Missionary Baptist Church in Valdosta, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend George Blunt, officiated. The burial followed in the churchyard cemetery. Survivors include her loving and devoted children, Mr. Willie Carl Robinson and his wife, Mrs. Emma Robinson, Mr. Kenneth Robinson, and Miss Maddie Barnes, all of Valdosta, Georgia. Her beloved grandchildren, Mrs. Melissa Dean and her husband, Mr. Brandon Dean, Miss Lakeisha Smith, Mr. Kenneth Robinson Jr., Mr. Daniel Robinson, Mr. Bryant Flagg, and Mr. Michael Taylor. A host of great-grandchildren, her beloved godchildren, Mrs. May Thomas and her husband, Mr. Terrence Thomas, Mr. Brian Williams and his wife, Mrs. Erica Williams, and Mr. O. Ave. Her special friends, Mrs. Irene Brown, the Reverend Jasper Daniels and his wife, Mrs. Mary Daniels, Mrs. Betty Hopper, Sheriff Ashley Polk and his wife, Miss Virginia Polk, and Miss Elizabeth Jenkins, a host of other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survived. Mrs. Peggy Peggy Neil Miller Lee, age 84, of Valdosta, Georgia. United States Navy veteran, Mr. Stanford D'Angelo Lundy, age 58, of 1712 King Chapel Road, Perry, Georgia, died Wednesday, January 7th, 2026, at the Fairview Park Hospital in Dublin, Georgia. The funeral service for United States Navy veteran Mr. Stanford D'Angelo Lundy, age 58, was held Friday, January 16th, in the sanctuary of the Bethel Baptist Church in Vienna, Georgia. The Reverend Dr. Bobby G. West, pastor, the Reverend Charles Cobb Sr., pastor of the Free Providence Baptist Church and the Spring Hill Baptist Church, officiated. The burial with military honors followed in the Vienna City Cemetery in Vienna, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Donna Ray Williams Lundy of Perry, Georgia. His beloved children, Miss Shankiska Lucas of Perry, Georgia, Miss Diamond Blight, Miss Jayla Sanders, Mr. Devin Williams, Mr. Devon Williams, Mr. Donovan Williams, all of Perry, Georgia. 5 beloved grandchildren, his loving and devoted mother, Mrs. Mary Nell Brown Lundy of Vienna, Georgia. His beloved sibling, Mr. Russell Brown, and his wife, Mrs. Danita Brown of Vienna, Georgia. Mr. Anthony Brown and his wife, Mrs. Mary Brown of Perry, Georgia. Mr. Leroy Lundy and his wife, Mrs. Regina Lundy. Mr. Elka Lundy and his wife, Mrs. Valerie Lundy. Mr. Christopher Lundy and his wife, Mr. Christopher Lundy and his wife, Mrs. Kim Lundy. Mr. Eric Lundy and his wife, Mrs. Shantara Lundy. Miss Sabrina Lundy, Miss Erica Lundy, Mrs. Stephanie Lundy, and her husband, Mr. Eric Lundy, and Miss Jessica Fudge, all of Vienna, Georgia. A host of nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive Mr. Stanford D'Angelo Lundy, United States Navy veteran, age 58, of 1712 King Chapel Road, Perry, Georgia. Mr. Sylvester Perkins, age 81, of 106 Larkspur Lane, Americus, Georgia, died Monday, January 12th, at his residence in Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Sylvester Perkins, age 81, was held on Friday, January 16th, in the sanctuary of the Zion Hope Baptist Church in Americus, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Wesley Ashton, officiated. The burial followed at Staley Memorial Gardens in Americus, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Marie Perkins of Americus, Georgia, his beloved and caring children, Mrs. Tracy Manning and her husband, Mr. Dennis Manning of Americus, Georgia, Miss Cheryl Fuller and her husband, Mr. Elmo Fuller of Albany, Georgia, Mr. Kirsten Basden and his wife, Mrs. Pamela Basden of Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Sylvester Baisden of Americus, Georgia, Mr. Eddie Perkins and his wife, Mrs. Latasha Perkins of Median, Tennessee, Mrs. Danielle Williams and her husband, Mr. Mark Williams of Reynolds, Georgia, Mrs. Dominique Darisaw and her husband, Mr. David Darisaw of Plains, Georgia, Miss Barbara Baisden Mitchell of Americus, Georgia, Mr. Bobby Baisden and his wife, Mrs. Tamika Baisden of Riverdale, Georgia, Mr. Charles Baisden of College Park, Georgia, and Miss Latasha Perkins of Americus, Georgia. His devoted and beloved stepchildren, Miss Janella Johnson of Jacksonville, Florida, Miss Erica Lamar of Fayetteville, Georgia, Mr. Willie Lamar Jr. of Americus, Georgia, and Miss Christy Hardy and her husband, Mr. Avery Hardy of Douglasville, Georgia. 37 beloved grandchildren, 22 great-grandchildren, his beloved sisters, Mrs. Annie Kate Williamson of Ellaville, Georgia, and Miss Bernice Hill of North Carolina. His brother-in-law, Mr. Clarence Henry of Greenburgh, North Carolina. His devoted friends, Mr. Eugene Coleman of Cedartown, Georgia, and Mr. Clarence Slappy of Americus, Georgia. A devoted caregiver, Miss Jamila Kitchens. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. Mr. Sylvester Perkins, age 81, 102 Larkspur Lane, Americus, Georgia. The Reverend James Arthur Robinson, age 81, of Snellville, Georgia, formerly of Lee County, Georgia, died Monday, January 5th, at his residence in Snellville, Georgia. The funeral service for the Reverend James Arthur Robinson, age 81, was held on Saturday, January 17th, in the sanctuary of the Mount Abel Baptist Church in Lee County, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Samuel Stokes, officiated. The burial followed at the Sattler Cemetery in DeSoto, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Reed Virginia Marnes Robinson of Snellville, Georgia. His beloved children, Miss Pamela Marnes Adams and her husband, Mr. Wallace Adams, Miss Shakia Robinson, and Mr. Reginald D. Moore. 8 beloved grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren, a host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. The Reverend James Arthur Robinson, age 81, of Snellville, Georgia, formerly of Lee County, Georgia. Staff Sergeant Sylvester Akins Jr., United States Army retired, age 77, of Winona, New Jersey, died Friday, January 2nd, at Inspired Medical Center, Mullica Hill, in Mullica Hill, New Jersey. The funeral service for Staff Sergeant Sylvester Akins Jr., United States Army retired, age 77, was held on Saturday, January 17th, in the sanctuary of the Bethlehem Baptist Church in Doolin, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Jerry Sanders, officiated. The burial with full military honors followed in the churchyard cemetery. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife of 50 plus years, Mrs. Minnie Lee Duhart Akins, who is a native of Dooley County, Georgia. His beloved daughters, Miss April E. R. Akins, Miss Amy Akins, his cherished grandson, Mr. Cameron L. Parker Akins, his beloved siblings, Mrs. Joyce Long and her husband, Sir George Long, Miss Gloria Evans, Miss Constant Gray, Mr. Bruce Akins, Mr. Donald Akins, Miss Renee Akins, his sister-in-law, Miss Johnny Mae Duhart Lewis of Vienna, Georgia, a host of nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Staff Sergeant Sylvester Akins Jr., United States Army retired, age 77, of Winona, New Jersey. Mr. Ralph Franklin Denard, age 69, of 1918 South 10th Street, Cordele, Georgia, died Sunday, January 4th, at his residence in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Ralph Franklin Denard, age 69, was held on Saturday, January 17th, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. Elder John Donnie Ramsey officiated. The burial followed at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted children, Miss Rose Bynes and Mr. Maurice Denard, 10 beloved grandchildren, 1 great-grandchild, his beloved sisters, Miss Osie Smith, Miss Mary Ramsey, Miss Louise Denard, Mrs. Gradine Johnson, his beloved brothers, Mr. Curtis Ludden, Mr. Larry Denard, and Mr. Ernest Ludden, a host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Mr. Ralph Franklin Denard, age 69, of 1918 South 10th Street, Cordele, Georgia. Again, the family of Pastor Violet Youngblood Lester of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Mother Jessie Bell Harrison Spivey, age 90, of Byronville, Georgia. The family of Mother Peggy Nell Miller Lee of Valdosta, Georgia. The family of United States Navy veteran Mr. Stanford D'Angelo Lundy of Perry, Georgia. The family of Mr. Sylvester Perkins of Americus, Georgia. The family of the Reverend James Arthur Robinson of Snellville, Georgia, formerly of Lee County, Georgia. The family of Staff Sergeant Sylvester Akins Jr., United States Army retired, of Winona, New Jersey. And the family of Mr. Ralph Franklin Denard of Cordele, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for all of the many kindnesses shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. May God bless each of you, is their prayer. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna were in charge of each of these arrangements during the past week. And now, it is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following following announcements. Mrs. Phyllis Mackenzie Lewis, age 58, of 12971 Highway 90 West, Byronville, Georgia, died Thursday, January 8th at the Chris Regional Hospital in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Phyllis Mackenzie Lewis, age 58, will be held today, Sunday, January 18th at 1 p.m. at the Dooley County K-8 School in Pinehurst, Georgia. The Reverend Jerry Sanders, pastor of the Bethlehem Baptist Church, will officiate. The burial will follow at the Little Poplar Springs Church Cemetery in Byronville, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted husband, Mr. Sammy Lewis of Byronville, Georgia, her loving and devoted children, Mr. Lenoris Gray Gary of Lilly, Georgia, Mr. Kavasa Henry of Montezuma, Georgia, Miss LaShonda Gooch and her husband, Mr. Roderick Gooch of Warner Robins, Georgia, Mr. Christopher Carter of Virginia, Miss Megan Lewis of Byronville, Georgia. 5 beloved grandchildren, her loving and devoted mother, Mrs. Alfay Williams of Byronville, Georgia, her loving sister, Miss Wazette Caldwell, and her husband, Mr. Charles Caldwell of Byronville, Georgia, her caring brothers, Mr. Carl McKenzie of Unadilla, Georgia, Mr. Joboski McKenzie of Byronville, Georgia, Mr. Chris McKenzie and his wife, Mrs. Wanda McKenzie of Atlanta, Georgia, and Mr. Alexander McKenzie of Warner Robins, Georgia. 8 sisters-in-law, 4 brothers-in-law, a host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and friends to include her Frito-Lay family survive Mrs. Phyllis Mackenzie Lewis, age 58, of 12971 Highway 90, Byronville, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Phyllis Mackenzie Lewis, age 58, will be held today, Sunday, January 18th at 1 p.m. at the Dooley County K-8 School in Pinehurst, Georgia. The Reverend Jerry Sanders, pastor of the Bethlehem Baptist Church of Doolin, Georgia, will officiate. The burial will follow at the Little Poplar Springs Church Cemetery in Byronville, Georgia. Mother Eunice Lester Dawson, age 102, of 345 Church Avenue, Byronville, Georgia, died Monday, January 12th, at her residence in Byronville, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted children, Miss Addie W. Dawson of Atlanta, Georgia, Miss Ellery Pridgeon of Byronville, Georgia, her loving and devoted grandchildren, Mr. Terrence Dawson of Atlanta, Georgia, Miss Jacobia Dawson, Mr. Kelvin Pridgeon, both of Byronville, Georgia, Mr. Octavius Wiggins of Atlanta, Georgia, and Mr. Curtis Lee of Montezuma, Georgia. A host of great-grandchildren, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive Mother Eunice Lester Dawson, age 102, of 345 Church Avenue, Byronville, Georgia. The memorial service for Mother Eunice Lester Dawson, age 102, will be held on Saturday, January 24th at 10 a.m. in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia, with the minister selected officiating. Mr. Willie Gene McKenzie, age 73, of 305 North 10th Street, Cordele, Georgia, died Tuesday, December 30th at his residence in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Joanne Nelson McKenzie of Cordele, Georgia, his loving and devoted daughters, Miss Demetrius McKenzie of Cordele, Georgia, and Miss Samantha McKenzie of Perry, Georgia. A beloved sister, Mrs. Rosalie Walton of Eastland, South Carolina. His beloved brother, Mr. Robert Harvey of Cordele, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive Mr. Willie Gene McKenzie, age 73, of 305 North 10th Street, Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Willie Gene McKenzie, age 73, will be announced at a later date pending the completion of the arrangement. Mr. Rakim Devon Jackson, age 37, of 806 Richardson Street, Cordele, Georgia, died Thursday, January 8th at his residence in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted parents, Chairman Deacon Johnny and Miss Sheila Wilson of Cordele, Georgia. His beloved sisters, Miss Shaquilla Wilson of Ashburn, Georgia, Miss Lacuria Jackson and Miss Valencia Jackson, both of Cordele, Georgia. His beloved brothers, Mr. Cassadia Jackson, Mr. DeMarco Jackson, both of Cordele, Georgia. His beloved aunts and uncles, Mrs. Ruth Pickney of Denver, Colorado, Miss Linda Wilson, Miss Barbara Wilson, Miss Louita Harris, Miss Mary Kitchens, Miss Johnny Mae Smith, Mr. Woodrow Wilson Jr., Mr. Roscoe Wilson and his wife, Mrs. Gladys Wilson, Mr. Leon Wilson and his wife, Mrs. Nancy Wilson, and Mrs. Shonda Harris Jackson, all of Cordele, Georgia. His beloved great aunt, Miss Jerry Dean Jackson of Cordele, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, many cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive, to include Miss April Glenn and Miss Kenya Whitehead. Survived Mr. Rakim Devon Jackson, age 37, of 806 Richardson Street, Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Rakim Devon Jackson, age 37, will be announced at a later date pending the completion of the arrangement. Miss Nadine Pope, age 68, of 132 North Village Drive, Americus, Georgia, died Friday, January 16th at the Magnolia Manor Nursing Home in Americus, Georgia. Survivors include loving and devoted sibling, Mr. Leonard Pope Jr. of Americus, Georgia, Mrs. Linda Pope Larkins and her husband, Mr. James Larkins of Albany, Georgia, and Mr. Harold Pope and his fiancée, Miss Sandra 20 of Americus, Georgia, a host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Miss Nadine Pope, age 68, of 132 North Village Drive, Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Nadine Pope, age 68, will be announced at a later date pending the completion of the arrangements. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week. Friends, that conclude our funeral notices for this morning. And as always, we do remind each of you concerning our pre-funeral arrangements planning available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home, with packages available with a single pay, a 3-year pay, a 5-year pay, and a 10-year pay. So please stop by and talk with us concerning your pre-funeral arrangements needs available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. And also whole life insurance is available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home.
And now for announcements. The Ebenezer Baptist Church Family Friends Day service will be observed today, Sunday, January the 18th, beginning at 11 o'clock a.m. Everyone is cordially invited to attend. Deacon Morris McClendon, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Samuel Stokes is the pastor. The St. Mark Baptist Church of Vienna will celebrate the second anniversary of its pastor, Reverend James E. Jordan Sr. today. Worship service begins at 1:30 p.m. Reverend Choice Cobb Sr. will be the guest speaker. Deacon Albert King is the chairman of deacons. Reverend James Jordan Sr. is the pastor. You're cordially invited to worship at the New Poplar Spring Baptist Church. Worship with them each Sunday. Worship service begins at 9:45 a.m. and you may join them each Wednesday via conference call at 6:30 a.m. for morning prayer and at 7 o'clock p.m. for an hour of encouragement. The dial-in number is 253-993-3761. Pastor Teacher Johnny Dean is the pastor. The Vienna Church of Christ invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday during worship service. You may join them in person or via Zoom each Sunday morning, with Sunday school beginning at 10 o'clock a.m., morning worship at 11 o'clock a.m. Bible study is held each Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. The Zoom number to call is 447-485-6691. Brother Carl Colbert is the minister. The Friendship Baptist Church of Americus, Georgia will celebrate the 37th anniversary honoring Bishop and First Lady Melvin McCluster. The service will be held on Sunday, January 25th at 4 o'clock p.m. Reverend Elgin Neal Dixon, Vice President of the General Missionary Baptist Convention of Georgia and pastor of the Greater Macedonia Baptist Church of Dublin, Georgia, will be the guest speaker. Everyone is cordially invited to attend. Bishop Melvin McCluster is the pastor. The Zion Hope Baptist Church of America invites everyone to services of deacons, ordination, reassignment, and reaffirmation. The service will be held on Sunday, January 25th. The ordination press will convene at 1:30 p.m., followed by the ordination worship service at 2:30 p.m. Everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Reverend Wesley Ashton is the pastor. The William Grove Baptist Church will celebrate the 30th church anniversary and the 9th anniversary of its pastor, Reverend Nikita Lester, and First Lady Eddie Mae Lester. The anniversary will climax today, Sunday, January the 18th at 2 o'clock p.m. The Gethsemane Baptist Church will be in charge of the service. Sister Linda Maddox, Secretary, Mother Gradine Ford, Church Mother, Deacon Winfred Green, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Nikita Lester is the pastor. The annual Family Day services of the Mount Calvary Baptist Church will be observed today, Sunday, January the 18th at 10:45 a.m. Crisp County School Superintendent Dr. Brandon Williams will be the guest speaker. Everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Sister Linda G. Rollins, Family Day Chair Lady. Deacon Leon Spears, Chairman of Deacons. Reverend Isaac H. Owens is the pastor. The new St. Stephen's Church, Cordia Family and Friends Day service will be observed today, Sunday, January the 18th, with services beginning at 11 o'clock a.m. Everyone is invited to attend. Dr. Frankie Harmon is the pastor. Everyone has a cordial invitation to worship with the Calvary Temple Baptist Church of Atlanta for their Family and Friends Day service, which will begin at 10:45 today. Reverend Dr. James O. Jackson is the pastor. Choirs and Mass Back to Church, under the direction of Brother Mark Westbrook, will celebrate 16 years of praise, 30 years of music ministry, and 50 years of life at the Greater Morris Tabernacle Baptist Church this afternoon, beginning at 4:30 p.m. With special guests, Sister Courtney Shelley, Pastor Dale Turner, Minister Dexter Davis, Minister Brenda Madison, and the Madisonaires of Fitzgerald, the Voices of Harmony of Albany, Dr. Timothy C. Boone, will also be on program. Everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Brother Mark Westbrook, sponsor and honoree. Reverend Dr. K.M. Williams is the host pastor. The Spring Hill Baptist Church Family and Friends Day service will be observed on Sunday, January 25th at 10 o'clock a.m. Everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Mother Lily Mathis, Church Mother, Deacon Eddie Byron, Chairman of Deacons, Dr. Eddie Talbert is the pastor. The Shady Grove Baptist Church 50 Men in Black, 50 Women in White program will be on Sunday, January 25th at 2 o'clock p.m. The Buellland Baptist Church of Brother Dwayne Daniels will be in charge of the service. Sister Shawana Davis is the secretary. Deacon Sammy Mumphrey is the chairman of deacons. Reverend Kelvin E. Drake Sr. is the pastor. The Evergreen Baptist Church Family and Friends Day service will be observed on Sunday, February the 8th at 11 o'clock a.m. Pastor Sean Philpott will deliver the message. They will be remembering past members that have transitioned. Dr. Sean Philpott is the senior pastor. Brother Norris Mathis' 19th Gospel Anniversary will be observed on Sunday, February 22nd at 4 o'clock p.m. at the Spring Hill Baptist Church. The Gospel Travelers of Oakfield, Bubba and the Zioneers, Troy Chapman and the Truth Gospel Pioneers, Chosen Voices, Spiritual Saints, Truly Blessed, and more will be on program. The doors will open at 3 o'clock p.m. For more information, please contact Brother Norris Mathis at 229-417-0034 or Minister Gloria Mathis at 229-947-1516. Again, we'd like to remind you that the J.W. Williams Funeral Home calendars 2026 are in. If you have not picked up your calendar, please stop by and pick up one, and we'll be so happy to share it with you as well. Many of our area churches with worship services will still have services today. There will not be worship service today at the Greater Morris Tabernacle Baptist Church. Dr. K.M. Williams is the pastor. There will be no service at Greater Morris today. You're cordially invited to worship this morning with the New Oak Grove Baptist Church. Sunday school begins at 9:15 a.m. Worship service at 10 o'clock a.m. Deacon Alonzo Jones, chairman of deacons. Reverend W.W. Wilson is the pastor. On Monday, January the 19th, which is the day that we celebrate and honor the life of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., there will be a community-wide worship service that will be held at 12 o'clock noon at the Allen Temple AME Church. The service will begin at 12 o'clock noon, and everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Reverend Dr. Joseph Howard III will deliver the keynote address, and everyone has a cordial invitation to attend the service. Many of the announcements that we shared with you this morning are the events coming up in our community. We do ask that for safety purposes that you will check with your churches to make sure their services are still scheduled for today. There will be service today at the Mount Calvary Baptist Church today, as we will be celebrating our annual Family and Friends Day service, and everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. We do ask that in driving and traveling that you will be safe, and if it's not safe for you to travel, we do understand that you will not be able to travel. But for those of us can and will, our doors will be open, and we encourage those of you who can and will to come out. Everyone, please remain safe as you go about your day today. That will conclude our announcements this morning. And as always, we'd like to remind you, if you cannot join us here on live on our TV station. We do ask that you will join us at our Facebook page or our Jwwilliams Funeral YouTube channel. You may join us there. We'll put the graphic up so that you can get that information as well. You may join us also on WDEC Radio each Sunday morning at 7:30 from 7:30 until 8 o'clock a.m. And on the Jwwilliams Funeral Facebook page, you may join us there also. And remember also that you may join us on our Jwwilliams Funeral Home YouTube channel as well. That will conclude our announcements for this morning. There will be an impact on Monday, January the 19th as well. The ladies of the alumni of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, as well as the men of Omega Psi Phi, will have their Day of Impact service where they will be giving away soups and sandwiches, socks and hats as well. And this will be held at the Mount Calvary Baptist Church Annex building beginning at 10 o'clock a.m. from 10 until 1 o'clock p.m. So we do ask that you would get out those who would like to get out and be a part of that as well.
It is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcement. Mrs. Phyllis Mackenzie Lewis, age 58, of 12971 Highway 90, West Byronville, Georgia, died Thursday, January 8th at the Chris Regional Hospital in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Phyllis Mackenzie Lewis, age 58, will be held on Sunday, today, January 18th at 1 p.m. at the Dooley County K-8 School in Pinehurst, Georgia. The Reverend Jerry Sanders, pastor of the Bethlehem Baptist Church of Doolin, Georgia, will officiate. The burial will follow at the Little Poplar Springs Church Cemetery in Byronville, Georgia. Mother Eunice Lester Dawson, age 102, of 345 Church Avenue, Byronville, Georgia, died Monday, January 12, 2026, at her residence in Byronville, Georgia. The memorial service for Mother Eunice Lester Dawson, age 102, will be held on Saturday, January 24th at 10 a.m. in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia, with the minister selected officiating. Mr. Willie Jane McKenzie, age 73, of 305 North 10th Street, Cordele, Georgia, died Tuesday, January 30th at his residence in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Willie Jean McKenzie will be announced at a later date pending the completion of the arrangements. Mr. Rakeem Devon Jackson, age 37, of 806 Richardson Street, Cordele, Georgia, died Thursday, January 8th at his residence in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Rakeem Devon Jackson, age 37, will be announced at a later date pending the completion of the arrangements. Miss Nadine Pope, age 68, of 132 North Village Drive, Americus, Georgia, died Friday, January 16th at the Magnolia Manor Nursing Home in Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Nadine Pope, age 68, will be announced at a later date pending the completion of the arrangements. The Jwwilliams Funeral Directors serving Cordele, each of these arrangements during this week. Our program this morning is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones were laid to rest during the past week. The family of Pastor Violet Youngblood Lester of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Mother Jessie Bell Harrison Spivey, age 90, of Byronville, Georgia. The family of Mother Peggy Nell Miller Lee of Valdosta, Georgia. The family of United States Navy veteran Mr. Stanford D'Angelo Lundy of Perry, Georgia. The family of Mr. Sylvester Perkins of Americus, Georgia. The family of the Reverend James Arthur Robinson of Snellville, Georgia, formerly of Lee County, Georgia. The family of Staff Sergeant Sylvester Akins, Jr., United States Army retired of Winona, New Jersey. The family of Mr. Ralph Franklin Denard of Cordele, Georgia. Our program this morning is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones will be laid to rest during this week. The family of Mrs. Phyllis Mackenzie Lewis of Byronville, Georgia. The family of Mother Eunice Lester Dawson, age 102, of Byronville, Georgia. The family of Mr. Willie Jean McKenzie of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mr. Rakim Devon Jackson of Cordele, Georgia. And the family of Miss Nadine Pope of Americus, Georgia. Our program this morning is dedicated to all of the sick and shut-in, to all patients in the local and surrounding hospitals, nursing homes, and rehabilitation centers, to our beloved ministers and their devoted family members, to all retired educators, to the men and women serving in our armed forces, both stateside and abroad, to all veterans, and to everyone who listens to our program on each Sunday morning. It's a pleasure for us to bring it to you. Our program goes out in memory of our past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams, to my wife, Mrs. Calandra Wilkerson Parker, who is remembering her mother, who would have celebrated her birthday on January 19th, Mrs. Billy and Hall, gone but not forgotten. To my son, Mr. Jai Wilkerson Parker, this selection goes out to my brother, retired Chief Master Sergeant Norman F. Dexter, who celebrated his birthday on last Sunday, surrounded by his beloved wife, his son, his daughter, and his grandson. Happy birthday, Norman, and many more. Goes out to Dr. Gwendolyn Maxine Dexter and the entire family. This selection goes out to my sister, Mrs. Patsy Jackson, her husband, Mr. Jim Jackson of Cordele, Georgia. This selection goes out to my nephew, Deacon Kenneth Smith, program chairman of the Greater Morris Tabernacle Baptist Church. Goes out to our pastor, Dr. K.M. Williams. We do remind you that due to keeping our members safe today, the Greater Morris Tabernacle Baptist Church will not have service on today. So please join us on next Sunday, be the Lord's willing, the fourth Sunday in January 2026 with Sunday school at 9 a.m. with the Superintendent, Deacon John Stubbs, and Deacon Donald Talbot in charge, followed by morning worship at 9:30 on next Sunday. So please, to all the members, trying to keep you as safe as we possibly can, keep you off the roads, so we will not have service this morning. Our program goes out to our friend and brother, long-standing, the Reverend Johnny Dean, pastor of New Poplar Springs Baptist Church of Byronville, Georgia. This selection goes out to Deacon Jimmy Charles Munford, our dear brother, chairman of the Board of Deacons of the Crossroad Baptist Church, to his wife, Mrs. Carol Munford, educator in the Chris County school system. Goes out to his pastor, the Reverend Nelson Maynor, pastor of the Crossroads Baptist Church, and the entire Maynor and Harvey family. This election goes out to each and every one. Our beloved Mrs. Easter May Sanders goes out to Mr. Cleveland R. Lemon, the oldest staff member, the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. And I do know that you understand, due to the large number of announcements, we will not be able to get around to those dedications that were sent in. But do remember that our program goes out to each of you who tune in on each Sunday morning to listen to our program, and we will update our dedications that were sent, be the Lord's will, on next Sunday. God bless you, and stay safe on this third Sunday, January 2026. God bless you.
Tune in again on next Sunday morning. In your time of need, contact the competent, capable, and dependable staff at the Jwwilliams Funeral